So we have some new details in the case of missing Suzanne Morphew. Now, of course, the Sheriff's Office are doing a very good job of keeping everything under the lid, and they're keeping everything close to their chest, and it's causing everybody to obviously create a lot of speculation. This is one of those cases. The amount of speculation, rumours and gossip which are circulating around on social media and stuff like that is absolutely insane in this case. And I guess it's understandable when you see such a beautiful family like this, a beautiful mother, wife, and all of a sudden she goes missing, and there's just no rhyme or reason as to why it would happen. But the Chaffey County Sheriff's Office are now saying they've received over 200 tips now in this case. So let's hope that they have got some real positive leads to go on. Now, what we've since found out, sort of from yesterday, really is that authorities now have a sealed search warrant for the family home. They have cordoned it off. They're searching the home. They're in the home. They have a crime scene investigator there. Could possibly be just procedure. The sheriff's office is saying sometimes it's just procedure to start from the home and work outwards. We don't know yet. But it looked like they were carrying out evidence bags and that kind of thing. So we'll just have to wait and hear confirmation about that. Now they are asking the locals for any security, doorbell, and even wildlife camera footage from May the 8th to May the 12th. And this May the 8th date has become very important because everybody initially believed that Suzanne went missing on Mother's Day on Sunday, May the 10th. However, it's since sort of transpired that nobody had heard anything from her or seen her as of the 9th of May, and they're asking for camera footage from the 8th of May, so there's a little bit of confusion there as to exactly which date and time they believe that, you know, she actually disappeared. So we now know 49-year-old Suzanne, and they have two daughters, Macy and Mallory. They were married in 1994 and they moved from Arcadia, Indiana to Salida in 2018. It's an extremely remote region. I've looked on Google Maps, and as you can see, the neighbouring properties they're not exactly very close. They're quite sparse and few and far between. And I've also been advised that all the sort of neighbouring properties are all kind of Airbnbs, so you know, it could be any manner of people staying there at any particular one time. So as I say, they're now saying it was the 9th of May that Suzanne was last seen or heard from, and it was her daughters who actually asked the neighbour to check on her after they could not get hold of their mum on Mother's Day. The neighbour called the police to report Suzanne missing later that day after the girls let the neighbour know, we never heard from mum, can you please go check on her. And it's even now been confirmed by a friend or a local that nobody actually saw her on her bicycle. So the fact that they found her bicycle doesn't mean now that she actually went on a cycle ride, because nobody actually saw her apparently on the cycle. So that's obviously sort of contrary to what we initially believed. Now, her daughters were returning from a camping trip in Idaho. As I say, Suzanne's bicycle was recovered from a bridge close to the home, which is about like a third of a mile from the home, and they've also recovered a personal item, which we don't know what that item is. Again, that was found very, very close to the home. Now, husband Barry, of course, he stated that he was away on a training course in Denver for his job as a volunteer firefighter. Now, that sort of pricked up a lot of ears in the community, and people are saying, well, why would they have training session over Mother's Day? But my source has actually sort of let me know that they actually had to move the training due to the COVID-19 epidemic. So the training had to be moved, the dates of the training had to be moved, and also it had to be completed within a certain date. So there was a kind of time scale on when this training had to be completed. So maybe that goes to explain why, you know, this training happened when it did, because as I say, I know a lot of people questioned why it would happen over Mother's Day weekend. Now, I've also been advised that Suzanne and Barry, certainly when they lived in Indiana, they used to, sometimes they would employ people that they knew, that people that were running on hard times and hard of money, they would employ them to sort of help around the house, doing house maintenance and that kind of thing, and potentially looking after the garden and stuff like that. So, you know, we don't know for certain whether they continued that in Salida, but it certainly opens up a new possibility if they were, or they did have somebody who may have been helping out in the house, or somebody that may have helped out previously that you know, maybe had an interest in Suzanne, or an unhealthy interest. Just don't know, but it just opens up another possibility that maybe there, you know, was somebody else involved, you know, outside of the kind of suspects that everyone's looking at, if you like. Now, Barry, I have been told, also has taken and passed a polygraph test. Now, somebody did ask me, well, why haven't they come out and sort of announced that? But obviously, they're not admissible in court, polygraph tests. So, you know, they're not 100% admission of somebody's guilt. So, I guess on the other end, if they're not 100% proof of somebody's innocence either, I know they do use them, you know, to obviously to put pressure on people and to kind of find leads in cases and see where they need to go and who they need to be talking to, you know, see what people may be hiding. But, you know, I don't believe that if somebody maybe past questions that they'd asked, that they would then free that person and you know, publicly release that publication is well, they're not looking at that person as a person of interest. So maybe that's why they haven't confirmed that. Now, Barry's currently staying nearby, and he's staying with some family relatives near to the home. I understand he's being supported by friends and family who have flown in from his native Indiana. Nobody's now allowed back to the house. It's now been sealed off. It's now a crime scene. And nobody, including Barry, is allowed to stay there. Now, we also know that the investigators have possession of Barry's phone and vehicle. I understand they've had that for quite a few days now. And but Barry is said to be fully cooperative and understanding. So I guess they'll be doing a forensic search on Barry's phone, and I guess they've probably got search warrants for his vehicle. But that's pretty much where we stand at the moment. As I say, law enforcement seem to be keeping everything very, very close to their chest at the moment. There was a lot of talk, I've got to say, behind the scenes yesterday about a kind of imminent arrest. I think it was a lot of it was coming from locals, and doesn't seem to have transpired, obviously, that anyone has been arrested. I think it just highlights the amount of interest and speculation and gossip that's surrounding this case, because everybody is trying to piece together exactly what's happened, which is understandable. But I guess we've just got to be careful that we don't fall into the trap of the harmful speculation where people can potentially get hurt and be made victims of. So, but if I hear anything else, I'll let you know. So it'll be interesting to see where this case goes. It seems to be developing all the time. So let's see what happens, and let's see if we hear anything more soon.